Williams. Speaking of horses, Idaho Horse Expo. We're having a great time here in Boise. We're back on the runway here where the fashion show will take place later on, but there's a lot of events going on, a lot of ways to learn about horses, to be educated by trainers, but just lots of entertaining things. One of the things that's really interesting is our discussions about Civil War reenactment. We have an actual mounted reenactor talking about history and weaponry and the like, and we're going to show you some highlights from this 2022 Idaho Horse Expo. These are some highlights of the Civil War reenactment. So let's watch these right now. It's day 2 here in Boise. Watch.
Good afternoon. Everyone hear me all right? How's that? Better? All right. Well, good afternoon. My name is Shane Gibson. This is Jasper. Had him for about 5 months now. He's a retired cow horse and barrel racer. Then I got a hold of him, started shooting gun, but he didn't like that too much. But he's been doing really good lately. I've got 15 years of reenacting experience under me. Started out in California. Please don't shoot me out of the saddle for saying that. Began as infantry when I was very young. About the age 21 or so, switched over to the cavalry. Easy. So, the saddle that I'm riding is called the 1859 McClellan saddle. It is the 3rd best saddle in the world, just behind the Mexican and the Texan saddle. So good that it's actually continued in use amongst police forces, mounted police. Some police units in Africa actually still use it, and the U.S. military still uses it for ceremonial purposes. The 1st Cavalry, they'll use it for their mounted demonstrations, but most notably, the Honor Guard at Arlington National Cemetery. When they honor our fallen, it's the McClellan that they ride with their case on. It's weighed down now primarily with what I would carry on campaign. You'll see here, there's a feedback. Out here in the west, where you're going across open deserts with very little forage available, you need a feedback with you, and the ration for a horse is 1 handful of grain a day. That's it, until they can find resupply or new forage. The other thing you'll notice back here is I have a rope tied underneath my bedroll, and woven inside that the picket pin. Another problem with riding out here in the deserts, you're not going to come across many trees. So you carry the picket pin, and it's got 30 feet of rope on it, giving the horse a 60-foot circle to walk around and graze if it's available. And they did this because they didn't have any trees. They couldn't tie the horses high or low. So you can imagine a troop of 100 men, 100 horses, plus their supply mules. Each one had 30 feet of rope. They're going to be spread out for a long ways. On top of that, there is the bedroll. And the bedroll has replacement clothing, shirts, pants, not a replacement uniform. I'm always wearing that. Personal items, say a mirror, maybe a small Bible, pictures of my loved ones. A lot of people think of the cavalry, they're the debonaires, they're the glorious ones. Well, that's not necessarily the case, because if I can't fit it on my horse, and wait, I can carry it. Whereas the infantry, they got to have their own backpack, so they could carry whatever they wanted, as long as they were willing to carry it.
Horses. Piranha! Oh no! Oh, the Little piranha.
Equessentials Horse Care Products, a complete horse care package of all grooming, skin care, body care products, all from Equessentials. Developed by Dr. Tom Tweeton, these products are all tested and checked to make sure they're safe on your animals, horses, and in some cases dogs and the like. But you need to have Equessentials as a part of your tack box and routine. That's Equessentials Horse Care
All
Products.
these firearms they could use. Well, even though the firearms were advanced, they weren't quite as advanced as you might think. Many of them were unreliable, and even something as innovative as my 6-shot revolver, whereas just a few years before, the only thing available was a single-shot pistol. Well, after each shot, I have to reload. Sorry, not after each shot, but after the cylinder is emptied, I have to reload, and it's a cumbersome process. So I've only got 6 shots in the revolver, and I got 1 shot in the carbine, and I can reload the carbine relatively quickly. But if someone's charging at me, generally what I'm going to do is drop the carbine and draw my saber. But back to the lance. There are actually 3 units in the entire Civil War that used the lance as a signature weapon. Only one of them successfully. The most famous and least successful was the 6th Pennsylvania, nicknamed Rush's Lancers. They chose the lance mainly for pomp and circumstance. They didn't actually train with it, and when they were sent into battle for the first time with their lance, the moment they were charged by Confederate cavalry, they turned tail and ran and dropped all their lances. After that, they decided, okay, this doesn't work. These guys are not trained to use these lances, so we're going to give them something simpler to fight with, so they gave them rifles.